October 2025. TravisKelce's 36th birthday wasn't meant to be a spectacle. No red carpets, no flashing lights, no endless guest list crafted by PR teams. Just warmth, family, and a few close friends in his Kansas City home. The house buzzed with that particular kind of joyful chaos that only family can create. Donna's laughter echoing from the kitchen, Jason and Kylie wrangling their 3 daughters, Patrick and Brittany Mahomes chatting near the fireplace, the scent of lasagna and apple pie wrapping the evening in comfort. Taylor had planned everything quietly. The menu, the decorations, even the handwritten banner that read, "Happy Birthday, Trav," painted by little Wyatt in her uneven 6-year-old scrawl. It was cozy, heartfelt, and exactly what Travis wanted. A celebration not of fame, but of belonging. Across the room, Taylor caught his eye and smiled. She'd been his calm in the storm lately, helping him find balance in a world that always demanded more. He mouthed thank you, and she nodded softly, her secret still tucked safely away. A surprise that had taken months, countless sleepless nights in her Nashville studio, and every ounce of her heart. Because tonight, TaylorSwift wasn't just the global superstar. She was a woman in love, about to sing him a song that would change everything. Dinner faded into laughter, pie crumbs and coffee cups clinking. When everyone settled in the living room, Taylor's hands trembled slightly. She had sung in front of millions, stadiums roaring, lights blazing, but this was different. This time she wasn't performing for fans. She was singing for the man she loved, surrounded by the people who loved him most. Before the cake, she stood up, guitar in hand. "I have something for the birthday boy," she said with a nervous smile. Travis looked up from playing with baby Bennett, surprised. "You didn't have to do anything," he said gently. "Well," Taylor teased, "too bad. I wrote you something, and everyone's going to have to sit through it." Laughter rippled through the room before silence fell. Taylor took a deep breath and began to play. The song was called 87 Reasons. From the very first note, the room stilled. It wasn't just a love song. It was a portrait. Each lyric was a brushstroke painting Travis as only someone who truly knew him could. She sang about how he called his mom every day, how he cried during movies but pretended not to, how he remembered the names of every stadium staffer, how he made silly voices for her cats, and how he taught her that love didn't have to be complicated. It could be simple, kind, and safe. By the second verse, Donna was crying openly. Jason's arm was around Kylie, both misty-eyed. Even Patrick Mahomes was wiping his face discreetly. But Travis, he was staring at Taylor like she'd just handed him the universe wrapped in song. The bridge broke the room's last defenses. Taylor sang about finding home not in places or fame, but in people, in him. When she finished, silence lingered for a long, fragile heartbeat before everyone erupted in applause. Travis crossed the room in 3 quick strides and pulled her into his arms, his voice rough when he whispered, "That was beautiful." "I can't believe you wrote that about me." "You make it easy," Taylor murmured back. "You're the easiest person I've ever loved." The family tried to compose themselves, dabbing at tears, and that's when Wyatt, in all her 6-year-old innocence, decided to speak the words no one else dared to say. Wyatt was sitting on Jason's lap, her Chiefs jersey dress slightly rumpled, legs swinging. She looked between Travis and Taylor, still wrapped in each other's arms, and asked, loud enough for everyone to hear, "Uncle Travis, are you going to marry Taylor?" The room went still, the kind of stillness that feels electric. Jason's face turned crimson. Kylie froze mid-breath. Donna stopped dabbing her eyes. Even Patrick and Brittany were biting back smiles. Travis and Taylor looked at each other, hearts racing, caught between laughter and terror. This wasn't the time, wasn't the place, yet somehow it was perfect. A moment born not from planning but from honesty. Kylie started to stammer an apology. "Wyatt, sweetie, that's not really—" "It's okay," Taylor interrupted softly, though her pulse was pounding. She met Travis's gaze, panic and hope flickering there, and she made a decision. No more hiding. Travis knelt so he was eye level with Wyatt, still holding Taylor's hand. "That's a very important question," he said carefully. "I know. Wyatt replied matter-of-factly. Mommy says I ask too many questions, but Daddy says questions are good. Jason groaned into his hand. The adults tried to hold in their laughter. Travis smiled despite the awkwardness. He's right. Questions are good. So here's the honest answer, Princess. Someday. When she's ready. When we're both ready. Wyatt squinted. But you love her, right? Like, really, really love her? The forever kind? Travis looked at Taylor, who was already crying softly. Yeah, Wyatt, he said. The forever kind. Wyatt turned to Taylor with the same innocent scrutiny. And do you love him the forever kind too? That's when Taylor knelt down beside Travis, so the three of them were eye level, forming a small triangle in the middle of the room. I think, Taylor said slowly, I'm starting to be ready. I didn't know I was until you asked that question. But hearing your uncle say someday made me realize. Someday doesn't feel far away anymore. Travis's breath caught. The room was silent except for sniffles. Wyatt beamed. Then that means marriage. That's what Mommy and Daddy did when they loved each other the forever kind. Laughter broke through the tension, mingling with tears. But Wyatt wasn't done yet. Wyatt shifted in Jason's lap, her small voice suddenly softer, almost trembling. Uncle Travis, she asked, when you marry Aunt Taylor, will I be her real niece? Like for real? Because right now I'm just Uncle Travis's niece. But I want to be Aunt Taylor's niece too. Is that how it works? The question hung in the air like a fragile crystal. Innocent, pure, and piercing. The adults went quiet. Even the kids seemed to sense something important was happening. Taylor's throat tightened. She leaned forward and gently cupped Wyatt's face in both hands. Wyatt Elizabeth Kelce, she said, voice thick with emotion. You're already my real niece. Right now. You don't have to wait for any marriage or any paper. Love makes families, not ceremonies. Wyatt's eyes widened. Really, truly? Really, truly, Taylor said, smiling through tears. You became my niece the first time you asked me if I really loved your Uncle Travis. Remember that dinner? Wyatt nodded eagerly. That night, Taylor continued, you showed me that you care about him so much you wanted to make sure I was good enough for him. That's what real family does. They protect each other. And from that moment, you were mine. Wyatt thought about it, her little brow furrowed. But if you do get married, she said slowly, then everyone will know I'm your niece. Right now, only we know. Travis let out a sound somewhere between a laugh and a sob. He pulled both Taylor and Wyatt into his arms. Then I guess, he murmured into Taylor's hair, we'd better get married. So everyone knows that Wyatt Kelce is officially Taylor Swift's niece. The room exploded. Laughter, tears, applause. Donna was full-on sobbing now. Jason had buried his face in Kylie's shoulder, laughing and crying at once. Patrick Mahomes shouted, "That's how you do it, man," while Brittany recorded everything on her phone. But Wyatt, still in their embrace, had one final announcement to make, one that would make everyone cry all over again. Wyatt wriggled out of Travis's arms with determined excitement. "Good," she declared proudly, "because I already made you a wedding present. It's in my backpack." Laughter burst around the room as she sprinted off toward the hallway, the sound of her tiny footsteps echoing on the hardwood. She returned moments later, clutching her pink unicorn backpack like a treasure chest. Carefully, she pulled out a folded piece of construction paper and handed it to Taylor with both hands. "I made it last week," Wyatt said, cheeks glowing. "Mommy said I should wait, but I think now's a good time." Taylor's fingers shook as she unfolded it, and the room collectively melted. It was a crayon drawing. 2 stick figures standing in a church with hearts floating all around them. One wore a yellow dress and had long blonde hair. The other wore a football jersey with the number 87. Between them was a smaller stick figure labeled Flower Girl Wyatt, holding both their hands. At the bottom, in wobbly 6-year-old handwriting, it said, "Taylor plus Uncle Travis, forever family. P.S. I love you both." There were details everywhere. Musical notes dancing around Taylor's stick figure, a tiny football at Travis's feet, and even 3 small cats sitting in the corner labeled Meredith. Olivia and Benjamin Taylor completely lost it. Tears streamed down her face as Travis gathered her and Wyatt into his arms again. He kissed Wyatt's forehead and whispered, "You were being perfect, sweetheart." "When did you make this?" Taylor asked between soft sobs. "After you taught me how to braid hair," Wyatt said proudly. "I knew then you were going to be my real aunt forever. Mommy said I was being presumptuous, Jason corrected gently, voice breaking. But Daddy said I was being hopeful," Wyatt continued. "You were being perfect," Travis said again, his voice thick, and this time no one disagreed. As laughter and tears filled the room, the moment was sealed. Simple, spontaneous, unforgettable. A child's crayon drawing had done what no romantic gesture could. It turned someday into soon. When the laughter faded and the last guest drifted home, the house grew quiet. Only the soft hum of the refrigerator and the faint scent of apple pie lingered. The coffee table was cluttered with wrapping paper, half-empty cups, and right in the center, Wyatt's drawing, still glowing under the warm light. Travis picked it up, running a thumb gently over the crayon lines. "She even drew your cats," he said softly, smiling. "And look, she gave me my number." Taylor moved closer, resting her chin on his shoulder. "She thinks about details," she murmured, "just like someone else I know." They sank onto the couch, exhaustion mixing with something deeper, the weight of what had just happened. A 6-year-old had, without meaning to, drawn the truth out of them both. "That happened," Travis said finally. "That really happened," Taylor laughed weakly. Silence settled again, comfortable and heavy. "Are you freaking out?" he asked. "A little," she admitted. "Are you terrified?" "Maybe," she said. "Are you?" "Yeah," Travis answered. "But not of marrying you, just the idea of it all." Taylor looked at him tenderly. "That makes perfect sense. I feel the same way. When I said I was starting to be ready, I meant it. I just realized tonight, it's not supposed to not be scary. The right person is someone worth being scared for." Travis cupped her face. "You're worth being scared for, Tay." She smiled through tears. "So are you." They leaned into each other, the night soft and still around them. Then Travis hesitated, almost sheepish. "So, what do we do now? Start planning? Tell people we're engaged?" Taylor laughed quietly. "After tonight, everyone already assumes we are. But maybe we take our time. Do it our way. Quietly. Real. Just us." "I like that," he said. "Though, I kinda had this big proposal planned. Now, I'm not sure if I should still do it, or if Wyatt already beat me to it." "Oh, you're still doing the proposal," Taylor said firmly. "Wyatt asked the question, but I want you to ask the question." He smiled. "What if I'm ready now?" She froze. "Are you?" "I've been ready," he said simply. "I've had the ring for 2 months. But tonight, seeing you with my family, singing that song, holding Wyatt, I realized something. There are no perfect moments, just real ones. And tonight was real." Taylor's eyes filled again. "I love you so much." "I love you too," he whispered. "And when I finally propose, we're definitely making Wyatt the flower girl." Taylor laughed, tears glinting in her eyes. "Deal." 3 months later, he proposed in their kitchen while making dinner. No cameras, no grand gesture, just them. Laughter, flour on the counter, and love filling the air. When Taylor said yes, the first person they called was Wyatt. "I knew it," she shrieked. "Mommy, Daddy!" Uncle Travis asked Aunt Taylor to marry him. Jason and Kylie's cheers echoed through the phone. "Can I tell my class?" "Can I tell everyone?" Wyatt asked breathlessly. "You can tell everyone," Taylor said, laughing. "Because you helped make it happen." "I know," Wyatt replied proudly. "Mommy says I should be a therapist, but I think I'll just be a flower girl instead. That seems easier." 8 months later, she was walking down the aisle with perfect posture, scattering petals like tiny bursts of joy. And when she grabbed the mic at the reception and shouted, "I just want everyone to know I'm the reason Uncle Travis and Aunt Taylor are married," the entire crowd erupted in laughter and tears. Jason hid his face in his hands. Kylie laughed until she cried. And Travis and Taylor just looked at each other, hearts full, because Wyatt was right, Sometimes all it takes is one honest question from a child to change everything.